Robin, put lumens where they're needed?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
Well, basically, what we mean by that is that every design we do is different, and every building's different, and they've got different things within a building, right? So,
okay.
And I'll use an example of a manufacturing shed. So they might have an automatic machine doing all the things that it does.
Yes.
It requires 240 lux to illuminate that area.
Right.
But if someone's standing at the machine doing some work, they require 400 lux.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's standing a bit further along and they're inspecting the product that comes out, that requires 600 lux.
Gotcha.
So what we would do in that application is we'd design a general light for the whole area, probably to 240.
Yes.
And then we'd add some what we call local light at the areas that require the extra lighting.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's where it's important to put the lumens where it's needed.
All right. So for a general lighting area, it's just ambient, and then we adjust the accents vertical.
Correct.
Like
Vertical illumination is very important when we're doing warehouse pallet racking.
Right. Okay.
Right, so they've got to be able to see at that surface rather than that surface.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Reduce energy. So obviously by using LED, and I'd say obviously because of the lower wattages that we discussed previously, there's energy savings in there.
Absolutely. So for instance, a 400 watt metal halide high bay, which is quite common everywhere, actually consumes around 440 to 460 watts.
Because of the driver.
Because of the driver, yeah. So we can replace that 400 watt fitting with a 150 watt fitting, 150 watt total consumption. So that's almost 2/3 less.
Yes.
And we're actually going to give them better light than they have with the 400 watt. So it's
and
quite a bit of energy savings.
Yeah, it's huge energy savings, and we also, our projected life is actually longer as well.
Absolutely, it's about 38,000 hours maximum life for a 400 watt.
Okay.
They're all different life for different wattages.
Yeah, so, and you've already mentioned that we still have to comply to Australian standards.
Absolutely,
and things like that.
Yep.
So, okay, so we've got a couple of pictures here. We've got an actual service station, and the service station is how has it sat before, and then we've got another photo of it after the event lighting up a petrol pump. So the one on the left before the upgrade, the fuel pump is actually
it's quite dull
yeah.
compared to the one on the right. And the thing to note is we've actually reduced the number of luminaires in the canopy. So we've taken out, looks like a couple of rows, maybe 3 rows out of that canopy, but we've increased the light, giving them a better result and a much brighter result on the pumps. So it's important for people when they pull up to the pump to see which fuel they're putting into the car and at what price they're paying for that fuel. So yeah, it's made quite a huge difference. So they've saved a lot of energy by reducing the number of
Exactly, and actually I can see that the light spill is actually more contained.
It's quite controlled
on the upgrade, whereas with the other one it seems to be going a little bit of everywhere.
With LED you have a more direct light source,
right.
And with HID it relies on reflectors, so it's reflecting out of the fitting, and you lose a lot of light within a fitting before you even get out of the fitting.
So again here we're looking at a street. It's the same street that was upgraded recently. From the old high pressure sodiums, would they?
Yeah, that looks like could even be a low pressure sodium. It's a very golden, dark golden colour. So it's either one of those. Yep. And they've gone to a white light, so they're up around the 5,000 to 6,000 K. Yeah. I would say just looking at it, we've probably again halved the wattage at least. But look at the result on the buildings. Like everything's quite bright. Like on the left hand side there, you flat out see someone walking the distance there. On the right hand side, clear, very crisp and clear.
Yes, we can see the lady doing some window shopping up there.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
All right, so this is the uniformity that we achieve with LED light sources.
Yeah.
We can see the multiple colours. You know, we've got an average of 60 watts.
This looks like a car park.
It is a car park.
Done. So in the car park, traditionally you would have used probably a bare batten with a wire guard or a weatherproof batten. That light source emits light in all directions, so you're relying on reflections off of a concrete roof and things like that. Whereas an LED light source, it pumps it all down, and we get good width, and therefore we're getting very good overlap with the luminaires. So, as you know, good overlap, good uniformity. So you can see it's quite down the main drive part of that section of the car park. The uniformity is absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
And that's where people are going to be getting out of their cars and walking into that space to cross to go to wherever the door is for the building. So it's important that that main driveway is very
And
well lit.
we can see the other one is very, very patchy with the...
Very patchy,
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of interesting information that's coming out of...
Absolutely.
You know, and that I would say vast majority, myself included, would have no idea that this was actually...
All behind the scenes.
All behind the scenes,
Yeah.
exactly that. So...